there were times where you literally had to put your own values aside, working with a Muslim woman who's like, well, I can't go out and I can't do this and I can't do that and I can't do all these things. My husband's died. And just acknowledging that, yes, that's true for you within your faith, but actually you've come to New Zealand for a better life, and maybe there's a way we can find to help you be different and still be true to your faith. And yeah, that's
treading a very fine line, though.
It is a super fine line, and it's interesting because people make this sweeping judgment about Islam is misogynistic and it controls women. And I was lucky enough to become friends with a woman who was actually an American woman who had moved to Indonesia, chosen Islam as a faith. She'd been brought up in a very quite fundamentalist Christian background. And she was just like a huge education for me. And she was like, it's not Islam. It's the culture's interpretation of Islam.
Yeah.
And she explained about the fact that it's not just the Quran. It's so like we have the Bible, and within that Bible you've got the letters of the apostles. And the Quran has these hadith. And it's all these different people's, essentially, the apostles' interpretation. And she was saying sometimes when very fundamentalist ideas are wielded in the name of Islam, it's because somebody is adhering to a particularly fundamentalist hadith or interpretation, was how I understood what she was saying. But yeah, it was treading a very fine line. There was certainly in some of the cultural settings, it did look what we as a Western society or a feminist society would say is misogynistic, but the woman I dealt with didn't, they weren't going, oh gosh, I wish I could just go out, but my brother won't let me. That's not how it was. This was their culture, this was their belief system, this was how they lived and what they believed. And it was interesting.